Then, so in yesterday class, we just discussed about database. Okay, now what is database? What is types of databases? And we discussed about DBMS. Okay, what is database is? Database is a what? Storage. Okay, now simply storage of data. What data? Company's data. So company's data, okay, na, stored in database. Okay, then. But to maintain the database, you need a software. What that software is? DBMS. Understood? So database is a storage. To manage the storage, you need a software. So to manage the hard disk, we use a operating system. Similarly, to manage the database, we use what? DBMS. So then, so you can't directly work with what? Databases. You don't directly work with databases. This is not possible. This is not possible. So you can't directly work with the database. You go to the database, update the data. That is not possible. You can't directly go to database and delete the data. That is not possible. You work with the database through what? DBMS. That means you want to update the data. You give request to DBMS and DBMS will go to database and update the data. Okay. Anything you want to do, give the request to DBMS. DBMS will take care of that. So now, so there are different DBMS are there. What are the different types of DBMS? HDBMS, NDBMS, RDBMS, ORDBMS. Initially, data storage is started with what? File management system. Initially, companies used what? File management system to maintain the database. Later, what's it? HDBMS. Next one, NDBMS. Next, RDBMS. Next, ORDBMS. Okay, na? So, what is the difference between this is in HDBMS, they use a what? Structure. So, what is the structure used in HDBMS? Okay, then suppose the difference is then. So in HDBMS, they use a structure called what? Hierarchy. Okay, na? In HDBMS, they use a structure called hierarchy. Hierarchy structure. In NDBMS, they use a structure called what's a network. Okay, they use a structure called node structure. This is called nodes. Okay, now then this is node. In RDBMS, they use a structure called what? Table. So what the structure they use? Table. Rows and columns. Rows and columns. But okay, na? Then. So what is the difference between one to another? What is the difference between one to another? Structure is different. How you store the data? Here the data stored in terms of in the form of tables. Your data stored in hierarchies. Data stored in nodes. Okay, but at present these systems are outdated. They're outdated, completely outdated. No one using it. No company uses FMS. No company uses HDBMS. No company using NDBMS. They're outdated some years back. So companies are using only two. What are the two? RDBMS and ORDBMS. Every company maintain the databases by using either RDBMS softwares or ORDBMS. Okay, then. So even you need only these two. Okay, then. So let's discuss about what's a RDBMS. Then RDBMS stands for what? Relational Database Management System. Okay, then. And RDBMS, RDBMS concepts introduced by a person called EF card is the one who introduced RDBMS concept. So what is EF means? Edgar Frank. Then okay, that is the person who introduced RDBMS. Okay, then and we introduced RDBMS. So EF card introduced what? 12 rules. He introduced 12 rules. The 12 rules are called card rules. Okay, then now. So this person is introduced RDBMS. He introduced how many rules? 12 rules. The 12 rules are called card rules. Okay, then if you take OOPS comes with some features: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, like this. Similarly, RDBMS also comes with some features, total 12. Okay, then a language that supports all the features of OOPS is called Perfect Object Oriented Programming Language. A database software, a software that supports all the 12 rules is called Perfect RDBMS. A database that supports what? All the 12 rules is called Perfect RDBMS. Then, so a database software that supports all 12 rules is called what? Perfect RDBMS. Okay, now then. But what is the first one is? But this is not the right time to discuss all the rules. So we'll discuss some few. One rule is information rule. Okay, what this rule is? Sir, according to information rule, data must be organized in tables, that is rows and columns. Okay, now then. So according to this rule, compulsory in RDBMS, the data must be organized in tables, rows and columns. Then no. So like example, for example, sir, I want to store customer data. I want to store customer data in database. How you store the customer data in database? Like this: customer ID, customer WhatsApp, name, like customer what, city, suppose customer WhatsApp, gender, customer WhatsApp, age. Okay, then so ID and then some name, city, HYD, gender, male, age, some 40. Next, 101. Okay, now some name, some city. Next one, male, some age. Next one, 102. Okay, then some 102. Okay, now then so then suppose Delhi, male, suppose 35, something like this. So what is this is? This is what's a table. This is one table. So you store the data like this in table, rows and columns. What are these called? What are they called? Headings. Headings are called columns. They're called columns. So this is one column. This is one column. This is one column. They're called columns. They're called columns or fields or attributes. So you can call it as column, or you can call it as field, or you can call it as attributes. How many columns are there in this table? 5. What is this is called? Row. This is called row. This is row or record or tuple. Okay, now? Then, so these verticals are called columns or fields or attributes. This horizontal is called row, records, tuples. Okay, then here how many rows are there? How many rows are there? 3. This is not considered as row. This contains field names. It is not row. So this is the row. This is the row. This is the row. How many rows are there? 3 rows. How many columns are there? 5 columns, 3 rows. So what is each row contains? The row contains what? Each row contains values. The row contains what? Values. Value for ID, value for name, value for city, value for gender, value for age. The row contains values, field values. The row contains what, sir? Field values. Then, now, so then, even suppose, for example, let's go to this. This is not SQL server. Then, okay. Then, for example, you see this. So this is one table. This is one table. Okay, na? A table. What table? Employee table. This contains how many rows? 15 rows. This is row 1, row 2, row 3. Like this, how many rows? 15 rows. How many columns? 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns. Okay. So tell me, if it is considered as row? This is not row. This is what? Field names, headings. This is not row. This is the row. Row means that contain the data. Is this contain the customer data? No. So this contain the customer data. Understood? Then in customer table, one row means one customer. One row stores one customer's data. In customer table, one row stores one customer data. In employee table, one row stores one employee's data, his ID, his name, his job, his salary. Okay, then in student table, one row stores one student's data. Okay, now then, sir, suppose bank also stores what? Customers' data. Okay, then I open account. I open account. My details are stored in what? One row. My name, my date of birth, my okay, na? Aadhaar number, PAN number. My details are stored in one row. You open account, your details are stored in one row. See, bank is having 1 lakh customers. Then this customer table contains how many rows? 1 lakh rows. Okay, then. So, like, what is database is? Okay, na? According to this RDBMS, what is database is? Database is collection of what's it? Tables. What is table is? Table is what? Collection of rows and columns. What is row is? Row is what? Collection of field values. What is column is? Column is what? Collection of that. What is row? Row is collection of values. Yes. What is column is? You take age column. What is age column contains? Collection of values belongs to age. What is this column contains? Collection of values belongs to what's that? Name. So what is column is? Collection of values of what? One field. Okay, na? Then collection of values assigned to one field. Okay, na? Then collection of what? Collection of what's it? One field values. But what is row is a collection of same field or different field. different field. The row contains different field values, but column contains what? Same field values. Okay, then. So this is what database is. Tables. Table contains rows and columns. Row contains what? Values. Column contains values of one field. Okay, then next. Sir, okay now? Now, and another one, every table must contain what? Primary key. Every table must contain primary key to uniquely identify. What I'm explaining is I'm explaining RDBMS, so, which is important for your course. So table must contain primary key to identify, to uniquely identify. So if table is there, compulsory what must be there? Primary key must be there. Okay, now suppose, one second, example, sir, I'm storing the data like this. Okay, name, job, salary, date of join. Employee name, job, salary, date of join. I'm storing the data like this. Sir, if you store the data like this, what the problem is? If you store data like this, what the problem is? Hmm? If you store data like this, what the problem is? Problem is what? Uniquely identifying employees is difficult. Why? There may be number of employees with same names, number of employees with same jobs, number of employees with same salaries, number of employees with same date of joining. Okay, now then. So what the problem is? Problem is uniquely identifying employees is difficult. That is the reason every organization uses what's it? Employee ID. What for? To uniquely identify. If one ID is given to one employee, the same ID is not given to another employee. So using this employee ID, they can uniquely identify the employees. So what is this employee ID is called? This is called primary key. Understood? So when table is there, compulsory what must be there? Primary key must be there to unique. Then suppose like bank stores customer data. They're storing like this: name, address, balance. Okay. Then I'll go to the bank. I'll ask, sir, what is my balance? They will ask, what is your name? Suppose my name is Vijay. They go to customer table, find the customer with name Vijay, but they can find one. They can find number of customers with name Vijay. Then again they will ask my address. I'll give my address. Again they can find number of customers with same address also. So accessing balance is difficult or not? Yes. That is the reason every bank uses what's a account number to uniquely identify. If one account number is given to one, the same account number is not given to another. Okay, na? So what is this account number is called? Primary key. Okay. So tell me, what are the examples for primary keys? One is what's it? Employee ID. Next one, account number. Bank uses account number. Next one, Indian government. Indian government uses what? Aadhaar number. Income tax department uses PAN number. Election department uses voter ID like this. License. So all this purpose is what? Purpose is one. What that is? Uniquely identified. Okay. Then next. Next one. Suppose, see, one table related to another table using what? Foreign key. One table is related to another table using what? Foreign key. Now, what is this foreign key is? See, just I'm explaining RDBMS. See, RDBMS means mainly this tables, rows, columns, primary key, foreign key. The basic concepts of RDBMS. Okay, then. So what is this foreign keys? Like suppose, for example, you take software companies, they will be doing what? Projects. They will be doing the projects. One is what? Uh, in project, this is one table. In this table, they store the project details. They're doing the project ID. What is the name of the project? What is the what's the duration of the project? What is the cost for the project? And who is the client for this project? ID, name, duration, cost, client. Okay. So project ID is what? 100. Then name is what? Suppose some name. Next one. Duration, suppose 3 years. And what the cost for the project is? Suppose something 100 crores. And who is the client? Some bank is there, DBS bank. Suppose 101, some name of the project. So this is 4 years project. So cost is 200. Next one. So they're doing this project for some what then some airlines companies that they're doing the project for this airlines. Okay now. So this is one company is there. That company is doing two project. One project for one bank. Another project is for airlines company. Next one. Who work for the project? Employees. Employees work for the project. Employee ID. Employee what's it? Name. Employee what? Job. Employee salary. So ID one. Name A. Software engineer. Suppose some 30K something. Next 2B. Okay. Suppose something like this. Next 3, suppose C, then SC, suppose 40K, something like this. Okay, now? Then. So this is a table that stores what? Employees data. This table stores project data. This table stores what's it? Employees data. Okay, then. But my question is this employee working for which project? Can you answer? This employee working for which project? Can you answer? No. So you are storing employees data, you are storing project data, but you are not storing which employee work for which project. Okay, then. But I want to store that also. So which employee work for which project. Okay, na? Then so then I want to have the relationship between employee and what's that project. I want a link between, I want to establish the link between employee and project table. To establish the relationship, introduce foreign key. If you want to have the relationship between these two tables, introduce foreign key. Introducing foreign key means take primary key of one table, add that primary key to another table. Take primary key of one table, add that primary key to another table. In this table, what is primary key? Project ID. Take this project ID, add this project ID to employee table. In employee table, so this is what? This is project ID. So take the primary key of this table, add it to this employee table. In employee table, this is what this is called? Foreign key. Here it is in this table. This is primary key. In this table, this is foreign key. Foreigner. Foreigner means a person belongs to another country is foreigner. So what is foreign key means? A field belongs to another table. This not belongs to this employee table. This belongs to another table. Yes or no? So a field belongs to another table. That is called foreign key. That now I enter 100. I enter 100. That means this employee belongs to is working for which project? 100. Now I enter 101. And this employee working for 101 project. I enter 102. 100. Suppose then this employee also belongs to project 100. Okay, now? Then. So what this is? This is what? Foreign key. So what for foreign key? Do I have the relationship? Understood? So project data stored in one table, employees data stored in another table, separate tables. Now later you want to have the link between these two tables. To establish the link, then introduce what? Foreign key. That's it. Sir, okay now? Then. So RDBMS means mainly three. That's all. Tables, rows, columns, primary key, foreign key. Okay, then. So now, what are the RDBMS? What are the RDBMS softwares? Okay, now what are the RDBMS softwares? Like what is Oops is concept. Oops is what? Concept. But what is C Sharp .NET? Huh? C Sharp .NET is what's that? Language. It is a language implemented the features of Oops. Yes or no? Similarly, RDBMS is what? RDBMS is concept. So it is the concept. Next, what are the softwares implemented the features of RDBMS? One is what? SQL Server. One is Oracle. One is MySQL. Another one, PostgreSQL. So what are these? All these are examples of RDBMS. Sir, like if I take Oops, C Sharp, next one, what's that? Java, next what's that? Python. What are these? Huh? Languages, object-oriented programming languages. So similarly, these are all RDBMS softwares. Understood? Then. So now tell me, what is RDBMS? What is SQL Server? Sir, here SQL Server, but some people will call it as MS SQL, Microsoft SQL. Both are same, either SQL Server or MS SQL. Then tell me, what is the RDBMS? What is SQL Server? Hmm? RDBMS is theory. Oops is the theory. C Sharp is the language implemented the futures of Oops. Similarly, RDBMS is what? Theory concept, theoretical concept. What is the theoretical concept? Tables, rows, columns, fields. Yes or no? Primary key forming. That is the concept of RDBMS. So what are the softwares implemented the futures of RDBMS? One is SQL Server. Compare. Oops, C Sharp. RDBMS, SQL Server. Okay, now? Then. So they're from that number of, there are number of, but I given just four or most widely used. Okay, then. And they're from different companies. So this is from what? This is from Microsoft. And this is from Oracle Corp. This is from, this is also Oracle Corp. PostgreSQL is company name is also PostgreSQL. Company name. So they're from different companies. Okay, now? Then. So now tell me, what is SQL Server? Software. What type of software? RDBMS software. What for it is used? What for companies use SQL Server? Companies use SQL Server to maintain the database. To maintain database. If any company wants to maintain the database, they use what? SQL Server. Okay, na? Then. Sir, here, vehicle. Okay, na? Then. Suppose how you come to Naresh IT. So use vehicle. I use vehicle. Which vehicle? Suppose what? Two-wheeler. Which two-wheeler? Suppose, for example, Honda Activa. Okay, then. How companies maintain the database? By using DBMS. Which DBMS? RDBMS. Which RDBMS? SQL Server. Understood? How they maintain the database? By using a DBMS. There are a number of DBMS available. Which DBMS they use? RDBMS. What the which RDBMS they use? SQL Server. Sir, one day Activa is the example for two-wheeler, and SQL Server is example for RDBMS. Then you compare like this. So this is similar to vehicle. So different types of vehicle is there. Two-wheeler is one of the type. Different types of DBMS are there. RDBMS is one of the type. What the example for this is Honda Activa. What the example for this is SQL Server. Okay, now then that's next here. One more is there. What is that is ORDBMS. Okay, now object relational.